Okay, I promise I'll finish this in three. I swear on Battlestar Galactica, and that's huge. It's huge. Um, voila. Going with what we were previously saying, I want to adjust some statements I made. First of all, I said for some odd reason leftists have supported drug use. I meant the right to drug consumption, there is a distinction. Obviously, most of you understood what I meant, but going with prohibition, for example, a lot of leftists were supportive of that. Original feminist movement, a lot of feminists, not all, but a lot, were supportive of prohibition, and it didn't really end because of some mandate from the public. Most people, I think, most people were supportive of the matter, but taxes, it was revenue. It goes back to taxes again. But as I was saying, the cooperative movement. Actually, yesterday I was talking about this, and I was asked, well, how are cooperatives more productive? How is free market democracy or free association democracy? Let's use the later term, because you say market and you lose people. It's like, what? Where'd you go? I don't know your name. I missed you. You're cute. But that's why I don't think of myself as a free market individualist. I think of myself as a mutualist or a socialist. But you can argue it's the same thing. But as I was saying, how would it be more productive? I need proof. Proof. And of course, you don't want to make prioristic statements, but I was talking about a region in Italy where it's mostly cooperative owned. And I have it right here now. I know Spanish, I know Chinese, I know German reasonably well. I know Spanish, and I'm starting to understand Chinese. So, Emilia Romana. I hope I got that right. I'm part Italian. I should have got that right. It's Emilia Romagna, like lasagna. Tasty. Almost as good as sushi. But, so you can Google that, and in the town of Omola in this region, 60 to 70% of its economy is run by co-ops, and obviously it could be consumer, worker. I think that's the only two kind of co-ops there really are, but there's fascinating that these co-ops, it can be inferred, have a benefit to this region, because in all of Italy, it is the only place where, on average, prices for houses and general small goods, that's all, is 15% below the average cost in Italy. So, and now I get this information from the International Cooperative Association. Now you can take that with a grain of salt, or howbeit, but there's also other regions, and in Spain you have the Puerta de la Selva, and apparently you see something similar to that, and that was actually a town, if I believe, had a major stake in the Spanish Civil War when the anarchists and Republicans were fighting the evil fascist pigs. And also, I mentioned Singapore and Kuwait. Kuwait's 80%, Singapore 50%. Robert Traver of, I didn't write the name. I didn't write it, but I'm pretty sure Columbia University remarked that this is a growing phenomena to neoliberalism, and wasn't surprised by that. But he said 100 million workers are participating in cooperatives, and if you look at consumer cooperatives, 800 million are members. So this is a very big discovery, and I think why cooperatives succeed, not secede. Oh God, neo-Confederates are everywhere. It's because the diseconomy of scale. Because you have management, and management is just a hand, usually, it doesn't really do much. And, socialists argue that management is mostly pointless. And then you also have too much repetition. And if you've ever worked for a major corporation, or if you ever worked for a medium-sized business, I think you would understand where the problem lies. You get more input from your workers, because workers, they have different demands than the consumers, but their demands aren't usually that absurd. In recent years, especially this year, it's been an attack on the auto workers. And $70 an hour? Oh no! Well, actually, that's false. They only make about 25 to 29. They include 70 from all the benefits from past employees, and it's absurd. It's right in the ballpark as any other company, and they're attacking. I believe the corporate media is attacking the auto workers because the auto industry's unions came about through a quasi-libertarian socialist approach, because during the New Deal, a lot of resources had to be diverted to the deficit spending and all that, and to public work programs at WPA. And what happened was there was a lot of sit-ins and there was a lot of strikes. The Communist Party USA was one of the largest philanthropist organization in the whole country at that time. And what happened was there would be strikes and work and sit-ins, and the government wouldn't help the business owner. And this is primarily how come Ford turned into a unionized company, because Henry Ford originally, he hated unions, and during World War I he crushed them. They would actually, there's so many corporations in America pre the New Deal, what they would do is they would actually send you to re-education, the Americanization, and then they would make sure you eat these certain food. It was absurd how far corporations got involved in your life. And as I pointed out, that's why I personally think pragmatism dictates that you should set these forces against each other, because sometimes the government is against these business authorities. And I was asked, why aren't cooperatives, more popular? And I brought up the Facebook example. I was very surprised that Facebook is democratizing themselves, and I think that's a good thing. And then also, what about all these legal restrictions? Credit unions, everyone knows about those. They're regulated to high hell. And then you have corporate charters, intellectual property. You have zoning, which benefits corporations, big corporations. I was looking into wanting to start a education cooperative, because my friends and I have all these ideas, and I want to be a teacher. I want to learn as a teacher, and I want to teach as a teacher, obviously. But it's so regulated. It's hard. It's hard to just start a school. And this video is about to end, and I hope I got everything I wanted to say out of the way. I really appreciate you watching this. Obviously, there's so many facets I didn't touch, because, let's be honest, I don't want to stay here for 7 hours and bore you to high hell, but I want to thank Tom and Paul, and of course Steve, and anyone else who watched this. I think it's good to educate yourself. I love to watch opposition videos until logical fallacies are brought up, but that's okay. I think we can be assholes online. It's fun to be an asshole online. I'm an asshole online, but I'm one of the nicest people in real life. That sounds, ooh, your ego, but I don't have enemies in real life, because I love people. I love to deal with people. They're fun. People are funny. When they're stupid, they're funny, and when they're smart, they're funny. And it's just amazing what humanity can do. And I hope that in our future, or maybe in our grandchildren's future, or sometime down the line, we see a general move towards this more free society, towards a society where we can all live prosperously, where we can do what we want, where we can think creatively, where I can live as I want. If you want to be a polygamist, if you want to be gay, if you want to think like this, if you want to draw naked men, good job. But anyway, I have to go. Thanks. Thank you mucho.